The story of the movie begins at the end of the world when atomic bombs start falling on a building in New York City. We see this scene of devastation through the eyes of a woman named Eva. They find that everything is being destroyed, and people living in the building are running here and there to save their lives. A frightened Sam takes Eva by the hand and starts leading her down, but the crowd is so dense that they cannot escape. They begin searching for another way out, and along with some others, they find a basement door. A man is already there, trying to stop them from entering, but he fails, and 8 people enter the basement. As soon as they step inside, the man named Mickey who lives there shuts the door. They are all terrified by the loud explosions and the shaking ground. Everything becomes quiet for a moment, but then the shaking resumes as the building they lived in collapses on top of them. After everything calmed down, Mickey quickly sealed the door with duct tape so radioactive dust couldn't get in. But it was a basement, not a bunker. Eva and her boyfriend Sam had already met Mickey, who lived in this basement. Mickey worked as a cleaner in the building, but he had learned about the nuclear attack. Apart from them, there were Josh, his stepbrother Adrian, and Josh's friend Bobby, who was a bit crazy and weird. Josh and Adrian didn't get along, maybe because Adrian was his stepbrother, but Josh and Bobby were close friends. Finally, there was a man named Delvin, who also lived in the building, and a woman named Marilyn with her little daughter Wendy. These were the only people who somehow survived the attack and made it here. Wendy was very scared and told her mother she wanted to go home. Then Mickey said, "Girl, if you go outside, your body will melt." Marilyn got angry, saying, "Stop scaring her, she's a little girl." But the truth was, they were safe here for now, and all of them had lived in this apartment building. Mickey shows everyone around the basement. He had a generator providing electricity, but there wasn't much water, so they had to use the toilet without it. Mickey had only a small supply of food, but he made one rule clear. No matter what happens, no one was allowed to enter his room. Wendy was hungry, so Mickey gave food to everyone. There was also a radio, and Delvin tried to contact someone, hoping for a rescue. However, since the film doesn't show the passing of day and night, it's hard to tell how many days had gone by. After a long time, Adrian asked Mickey when they would be able to leave. Mickey replied, "When I say so." It was clear he wanted to keep control over them. This angered Josh, who decided to take Bobby and Adrian and leave. But as he tried to open the door, an enraged Mickey attacked him with an axe, forcing Josh and Bobby to back down. Mickey then warned them about the devastating effects of a nuclear blast on the human body, referencing what happened in places like Hiroshima and Chernobyl. Josh finally understood. They were trapped in a terrible situation. Mickey continued to keep his room off limits, which made Eva suspicious. She started to believe he was hiding something. As time passed, little Wendy grew tired of staying in the basement and kept insisting on going home. She no longer listened to her mother, but Eva tried to encourage her, telling her to be patient. One day, Josh insulted the canned food, complaining, "Every day, we have to eat this rotten food." Mickey became furious and snapped, "I let you stay here, I saved your lives, I'm giving you food, and you don't appreciate it at all." A heated argument broke out. Sam, overwhelmed with frustration, shouted, "Everyone I knew, my family, my friends, they're all dead, and you expect us to be your slaves and do whatever you say?" Mickey, losing his patience, slapped Sam to shut him up. The tension among them was unbearable, and everyone was on edge. An hour later, they heard noises outside. Someone was trying to open the door. At first, they thought rescue had finally arrived, but Mickey was suspicious and slowly backed away. The others stood frozen as figures in strange suits entered, carrying weapons. It didn't take long for them to realize these people weren't here to save them. One of the intruders grabbed little Wendy, stuffed her into a bag, and locked it. When Marilyn and the others protested, the suited figures pointed their guns at them. Realizing the danger, Bobby quickly created a distraction, shouting to divert their attention. "Run!" he yelled, and everyone scattered into hiding. These intruders hadn't come to help them. They had come to kill them. One of the intruders took their water, while the rest began searching for them with weapons, intending to kill them. Eva was the first to be found, and just as a soldier aimed his gun at her, Delvin struck from behind, killing him. Meanwhile, another soldier entered Mickey's room, but Mickey fought him off and stabbed him with a knife. The third soldier opened fire on the area where Bobby, Sam, Adrian, and Josh were hiding. Just in time, Mickey arrived with a gun and shot him dead. During the gunfire, Adrian was hit in the shoulder, but his injuries weren't fatal. Mickey quickly shut the door, making it clear that leaving the basement meant certain death. Their only option was to stay put. Adrian's wound was bandaged, but the entire group was shaken. Even Sam, who had been defiant before, seemed to have lost hope. After some time, they stripped the dead soldiers of their suits. Their faces were not clearly visible, nor was it clear which country's army they belonged to. However, one disturbing detail stood out. They had no hair on their bodies. Their suits were clearly designed to protect against radiation. Mickey was convinced that the war was started by the Arabs, while Delvin suspected North Korea. The movie never provides a clear answer, but the reason behind it is revealed at the end. Meanwhile, Marilyn was losing her mind over her missing daughter. In desperation, she ran toward the door, trying to get Wendy back. The others stopped her, but she became uncontrollable, forcing them to lock her in a room for her own safety. Being trapped in the basement was starting to change everyone's behavior. Among the soldiers they had killed, only one radiation suit remained intact. Delvin, Josh, Bobby, and even Eva insisted that someone should go out and look for help. At first, Mickey was completely against the idea, believing it was too dangerous. But after much debate, he finally agreed, on one condition. Only Josh would go, because his brother was still inside, which meant he would have a reason to come back. If anyone else left, Mickey feared they wouldn't return. Before Josh left, Marilyn made him promise to bring her daughter back. Josh replied, "I'll try my best." As soon as he opened the door and stepped outside, he realized something terrifying. The entire area had been sealed off, with tunnels constructed in an organized manner. This meant that whoever was outside knew there were survivors in the basement, yet they had done nothing to help them. Despite his fear, Josh moved forward cautiously. He soon saw several people wearing suits similar to his. Blood was splattered around, and severed human body parts were scattered on the ground. It quickly became clear these people were conducting experiments. As he ventured further, he spotted something horrifying. Tubes filled with children who appeared to be alive, but were clearly being experimented on. His heart pounded when he saw something familiar. Wendy's hair was among the scattered remains. Then, to his horror, he saw Wendy inside one of the tubes. A soldier nearby, standing confidently, became suspicious of him. When he checked Josh's ID, he immediately realized that Josh was an imposter. Panic surged through Josh, and he bolted, running for his life. As the soldier pursued him, Josh fired his weapon, killing him before making his escape. Upon reaching the door, Josh frantically called out. Mickey and Bobby quickly opened it. Josh was terrified and could only say that going outside was too dangerous. Marilyn realized her daughter was gone and broke down. Soon after, they heard welding from the other side, sealing them in forever. No one knew why they weren't killed. Poison gas could have wiped them out, yet they were left alive for reasons unknown. With no escape, they had no choice but to survive here. Delvin carefully stored the radiation suit, and life in the basement continued. Mickey remained in control, but soon Josh started coughing up blood, possibly from radiation exposure. After a few days, the basement became unbearable, filled with the overwhelming stench of the rotting corpses of the soldiers they had killed in self-defense. It became hard to breathe and the air felt toxic. With no way to break through the floor and the door sealed tight, Mickey came up with a grim solution. "We have to cut them up and flush them, or we'll suffocate in this stench." Most were horrified, but Bobby agreed without hesitation. Taking an axe, he carried out the gruesome task, chopping the bodies into pieces and stuffing them into bags. One by one, he flushed them down the toilet to eliminate the unbearable smell, making survival in the basement slightly more tolerable. That night, Marilyn went to Bobby and gave herself to him, feeling like she had nothing left. Though she later regretted it, she couldn't take it back. Over time, she spent more and more time with Bobby, lost in lust. Eventually, Josh joined them too. Meanwhile, Delvin began to suspect Mickey. One night, while heading to the bathroom, he heard strange noises from Mickey's room, as if he was sucking on something. Bobby and Josh had also started eyeing Eva, but she managed to avoid them. As their food supply ran out, tensions escalated. Delvin, convinced Mickey was hiding food, accused him of keeping it from the group. Another fight broke out. Their hair had also begun to fall out, most likely from radioactive dust exposure. Later that night, Delvin secretly entered Mickey's room with a gun. Eva saw him and decided to follow. Inside, Delvin found a door hidden behind an American flag. Just as Mickey stepped out, Delvin realized his suspicions were true. Mickey had been hoarding supplies. Delvin ordered him to open the door, revealing a stockpile of food and water. Before Delvin could alert the others, Mickey attacked. In the struggle, a gun went off, killing Delvin. Eva screamed, calling the others. When they arrived, Mickey tried to make up a false story, but Josh and Bobby didn't believe him. They tied him to a chair. Before they arrived, Mickey had relocked the hidden door, which required a combination, keeping the supplies out of reach. Josh and Bobby tortured Mickey, demanding the combination, but he refused. Instead, he hurled insults, provoking them further. In a fit of rage, Josh bit off one of Mickey's fingers. The others were horrified and tried to intervene, but Josh lashed out at them. It was clear he and Bobby were enjoying this. Eventually, Mickey gave up the code, but they still kept him tied up in a separate room. When the group saw the hidden food and water, there was a brief sense of relief. They wouldn't starve, but the truth was far darker. Josh and Bobby were slowly turning into monsters. Trapped in the basement, everyone was losing their sanity. Bobby no longer treated Marilyn as a person. She was just there to satisfy his desires. He showed her no care, no respect, using her like an object. Eva tried to help, but Marilyn snapped, insisting she wasn't a child. In reality, her mind was breaking, shattered by the loss of her daughter. Deep down, they all knew the truth. There was no escape. They were doomed to die here. And now the radiation poisoning had started showing on their bodies, a grim reminder that the end was near. Ava was heartbroken seeing Marilyn suffering. She sat near the door crying for hours, even trying to force it open, but there was no way out. Sam attempted to comfort her, moving closer, but she pushed him away. The truth was, Eva had started developing feelings for Adrian, Josh's injured brother. Meanwhile, Marilyn had fully surrendered to Josh and Bobby, becoming part of their twisted world. They had complete control over the remaining rations, deciding who ate and who didn't. Mickey had been tied up in the room for 2 days. When they finally brought him out, he was still strapped to the chair. Weak and dehydrated, he had been completely neglected. Josh soon turned his attention to Eva. Calling her into his room, he made a vile offer. If she wanted more food, she had to share time with Marilyn. Eva refused and left, taking whatever rations she could. She secretly gave her share of water to Mickey, who whispered to her that there was a gun hidden in the storage room. But Eva didn't trust him. Mickey was a known liar. She told Sam, but he dismissed it, warning her not to provoke Josh and Bobby, or they might turn even more violent. Adrian, despite being Josh's brother, never interfered with his actions, possibly because of his own injuries. The next day, Sam played Truth or Dare with Josh and Bobby. When Eva tried to stop him, Josh forced her to join. He asked if she loved Sam or Adrian. Eva hesitated, then answered that she loved Sam. But Josh and Bobby twisted her words, taunting Sam, saying he wasn't a real man. That's why his girlfriend had lost interest in him. Fueled by cruelty, they handed him an axe, demanding he prove his worth by chopping Delvin's corpse into pieces. Sam, overwhelmed with anger and shame, nearly obeyed, but Eva stopped him. However, he lacked the courage to stand up to them. Enraged, Josh and Bobby turned their threats on Sam, forcing Eva to do the gruesome act instead. With no choice, she did as they commanded. The experience shattered her, leaving a deep scar on her mind, breaking a part of her that could never be healed. Due to hair loss, Josh cut his and Bobby's hair. After that, Bobby changed. He started wearing makeup and dressing like a woman. By now, Josh and Bobby had become complete monsters, controlling everything. Mickey begged Eva to untie him. "There's another way out," he whispered, through the toilet, past the waist. When Eva discovered Bobby and Josh had killed Marilyn, she knew she was next. Desperate, she told Sam to get the gun from the storeroom. While she distracted Josh, Sam turned off the lights, luring Bobby away. But Josh grew suspicious. Before Sam got the gun, Bobby humiliated him, crushing his confidence. Even after retrieving it, Sam lacked the courage to shoot, frozen by fear. Eva brought Adrian along, urging Sam to give him the gun. But Adrian, feeling betrayed and enraged, snapped. He attacked Sam, believing Eva had chosen someone else over him. Josh and Bobby saw their chance, attacking Sam and beating him mercilessly. Bobby aimed a gun to kill him, but Eva reacted fast. Grabbing a metal shard, she slit Bobby's throat, killing him instantly. She rushed to Mickey, freed him, and took the gun. Enraged, Josh charged at them, but Mickey fired first, shooting him. Josh didn't fall immediately. Instead, he grabbed a lantern, set himself on fire, and ignited the entire room in flames, sealing their fate in fire and destruction. As Sam and Mickey struggled to extinguish the flames, Eva quietly slipped away, locking them inside. Wearing a radiation suit, she followed the path Mickey had shown, crawling through the filth to escape. The fire consumed everything behind her, sealing their fate. Stepping outside, Eva was met with a desolate, ruined world. Destruction stretched endlessly in every direction. She had left with hope, but now faced an even darker reality. There was no salvation, only inevitable death. The film ends on a haunting note, reinforcing its tragic themes. As mentioned earlier, it follows the classic structure of Greek tragedy, where fate is cruel and escape only leads to deeper despair. Throughout the story, we witness the downfall of every character, all caused by their own poor choices. Mickey embodied pride. He believed he controlled everything, but his arrogance doomed them all. Marilyn represented lust, leading to her tragic fate. Josh symbolized greed, while Bobby embodied violence. Delvin, driven by jealousy, wanted to take control from Mickey, while Eva clung to hope, yet her hope only led her to a destroyed world. Even if they had lived peacefully, their fate was sealed from the start. Radioactive dust had entered the basement on day one. It was never a true bunker. The air they breathed came from outside, ensuring their slow death. The story does not focus on who attacked or why. What truly matters is that this attack had been planned long before. The immediate start of human experiments suggests a deeper conspiracy. After watching the recently released series, The Fallout, these connections become even clearer. That concludes the explanation. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please like the video, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, consider doing so.